Hello everybody and welcome to Mercury 80, and at present I am in the west side, the northwest side of Papillon. There's been a lot of Forestry Commission work around here. I'll show you some of that as we go along. It's very destructive for people that are supposed to be managing and protecting the land. It's very distressing really to see. So I'm literally, you can see just off to the back of me here, you can see that track. So I'm about, I would say 8 or 9 metres. Just when I say metres, just exchange that for yards. We're not going to measure things exactly. So I'm very close to the track here, and even so, you can see a little bit of tree bending, and I'll show you. There we go. Can you see this? Look how close it is to the track. I thought that was quite interesting. I'm going to take a little wander in this very small area. We're roughly about maybe 300 to 400 metres off a secondary gifting area, and we have been in here before a long time ago, but I'm going to show you what things have been added to and changed, and see what you think. How strange that as I started to film this little segment, that we have an area of light come through on this, and I am a great believer in following where the light shines. It's just a collection there of sticks. Put my foot against it, you get an idea of how big they are. I don't think they're in any form or order, but this looks ordered to me. I will show you this part. Our familiar shape again. It's like a saltire, like an X beside a horizontal pole. So here we are. Funny how the sunlight has shone on that. I'm just thanking everybody for doing that, because I'm sure it's had a little bit of assistance. There we are. So it's like a cross shape with a Y on it. So we've got a long horizontal, that's this one here. One that goes across it. And then what looks to be a Y shape just laid on the top. It might be purely coincidence and mean absolutely nothing until you get to things that you see. This stick itself, this big long one here, is actually a Y-shaped stick. Okay, so this is my bag in the distance, and my flask just rolled off of its own accord. So we've just got that solitary thing lying there. So just in case you think that the family are coming in with backpacks, they are not. What shape is that? Oh. Can't see any definition of toes, but it does look like a left foot. And that absolutely looks like a right foot. Put my right foot beside it, you can get the size. You can actually see toe definition in there. Right, let's just meander through. So the bark stripping off these sticks can be nature, it can be animals in nature, but it's just coincidental that we do see it so frequently. Remember the video I did called Ogham, spelled Ogham? That looks like a classic bit of the Ogham. I'm going to come back to that. Just going to keep walking here. It's a very small area. Interesting shape. It's a windmill. It's the windmill shape again. So you've got horizontals like this, the X shape, and then sitting below it you've got this vertical shape here running and that way. This is north. That is west. This end is west. This end eastward. That end southward. And then this stuff. Now let me come round the back of these trees, and mindful not to try and not step on anything. Looks like the shape of Cassiopeia, the W shape. But we see this again very frequently, these glyphs. Someone's seat. Right, so that's what we've just looked at. We were standing there, looking this way. Isn't that interesting? That's a lot taller than me. That's about 12, 13 feet. Alright. Now we have some interesting constructs behind, and I'll have to sort of retrace my steps. First of all, I am going to ask Fenian. Is a Fenian with us today? Dacia Gaia. It's Dacia Gaia. Hello, Dacia Gaia. Dacia Gaia is with us today. Are these your work, Dacia Gaia? Is this your... It is, my dear. What's the phrase? It is, my dear. Is this recent? Summertime? This summer? And yet again, spoken about how the sunlight shines in this forest. Are you highlighting something in particular? It's a whole. Everything is a whole. It's not two separate or three separate things. Right. So all of this, if I get up to this side, see if I can show you from this side. Right, we're at the other end. So everything that we see here is one thing. It's a whole. Including the X at the top. Do you mean including this one here as well? A portal. Right, it's one portal. Is it a portal for communication? Wow. Right, he's saying yes, it enables me to speak to you. Oh wow, isn't that interesting? And this as well. So we've got a vertical leaner here, and then goes to these two here. While you're here, Dacier, was that W shape I saw before in connection with Cassiopeia? Okay, okay. So he's saying it was to see if I was able to distinguish it. I am trying to learn. Dacier is teaching me about constellations. It may take him some time. My single brain cell is spread far and wide. I have to tell you all of this. I do. More of this bracket fungus stuff. So in this very, very small area here, there's a lot going on. Is the bark stripped for a reason? Oh, well, that's simple enough, isn't it? It interferes with communication. There's more, goes right through. There's more over here. Okay. And there's a bit more back here. I'm just going to have a little look. Sorry folks, I'm a bit backwards and forwards here. It's just this is... Shall we go through some slimy old man's beard? Yeah. God, that's just disgusting. It's like walking through a pair of wet socks. Absolutely soaking wet. Everything is. We've had days and days of rain, so everything is really horrid. Is this connected with it? Got lots of tripods here. And look at this one again. See the smaller version of what we've seen before? Is this all connected? No, this is separate. Seen that before on many occasions. Hanging sticks. Here's some of your ogham. 1, 2, 3. You can also see it's a form of fothark which is like this. I will try and find some and see if I can put it in the corner of the screen for you to see what you think. Versions of fothark. Alright. Is it okay to come through here? They're saying it's okay, no harm can be done. Thank you. Wow. That's a pretty weird little area I've just gone into there. It's like circle of trees. I think it's purely coincidental, but I didn't like that little area. A double circle, that's what it looked like. Right, I can't really get much further through there. Oh, she says, what do we spot here? Any points for guessing what shape that is? And why would it be placed there? And why is that slimy old man's beard just gone right down my neck? Ugh, that's horrible. Okay. I'm going to take that as not to go any further. We'll just leave that there. Not that I feel that I shouldn't, it's just it feels like a territorial marker, so I will observe that. And let's get back to where we started. Ish. This is what I'm going through, okay? This is my torment. Yuck. Between that and having your foot disappear down great big holes. The joy. The joys, folks. Well, I don't know what you folks think. I just cannot believe this is natural, any of it. And if I was a hunter or something like that, I would be very curious if I saw any of that. I would want to know what was going on. I would find that questionable. Right, there's just so much of this stuff. It's time for a coffee. Look familiar? I was curious to see if that was still there, which it is. Do you use this dossier gear? Yes, we do, periodically. Have you used it recently? Right, he's saying no, it's more directional, like a signpost. Right. A signpost for what? Just directional. Alright. It's defining an area we may need to go into. Then look at this right below it. Fine filigree work. Now I don't want to touch this because it'll probably fall down. But you've got this here. See this coming down? There. And then there's this, see this little one here? That weaves there, right behind. And then there's this one here. Comes up. It's a weave, isn't it? Very clever. Y making an X on a protection, shape of a protection. Dacier Gate is chuckling to himself. I think he's saying, "You have been listening." Oh dear. So these irrigation gullies are filling up with water, and right at the very end, right up, I'll see if I can zoom in on it, right up at the very end there's a sluice gate that the Forestry Commission will have put in for irrigation. I'm not entirely sure that it works, but I guess we'd soon find out if it didn't work. Have you spotted it? Have you spotted it yet? Who knows? Let's ask. Is this some of your work, Daciger? I'm saying it was created by one of the family, but not him. It's all directing energies. That's what he's saying. So look how close the track is. See that? Literally a few feet away. And then we've got this. And you might say, oh, it's just an accident. A big fat bird has flown into a tree and it's fallen over of its own accord. Okay, so that's going in that direction. And there's another big fat bird that's hit this tree going in this direction. And then there are two big fat birds, those on there. And then there's these. A couple more big fat birds hit this one. See that one right in the middle? And another big fat bird, they hit that one there. Gosh, lots of big fat birds over here, aren't there? And then we've got all this stuff through the gap. Slight bend there. And this one here. Oh, big fat bird over there. I think we've got some more big fat birds that have hit these. By themselves, you would ignore it. But when you see so many in a small gap like that, surely you should be saying, huh, what's going on here? And that's what we're doing. That's what we're saying. Just wanted to point out a few more. There. This is like a grid. It's like a grid, it's like a zigzag pattern. I keep meaning to draw these and see if I can get any. I have done it before and see if I can get any kind of uniformity, and there just is none. There's nothing I can roll with. Mushrooms for tea? I think we'll skip these ones. Alright, we're going to head straight ahead, straight down here, and that should eventually lead us to where we need to be. Just a brief look around. See, these trees are still collapsing. They refer to them as widowmakers, and long after a storm I think they still come down. So I'm always kind of careful-ish. Very quiet today. It's lovely. So today's Thursday, and it's the only hole I've got in the week where I can do this, so I've got to run with it, as they say. Here's one of these irrigation gullies. I point this way up it. And there we go, that way. Oh, holy crap. Not quite knee deep, but not far off. Dear, oh dear. Dear, oh dear. You just can't get the staff these days. So there's been an awful lot of big fat birds knocking these trees down. I am joking, of course, but this is most definitely a communications area. That's about, try and work in feet, about 10 feet tall. I'll try and see if we can operate around here without falling down too many gaps. The trouble is, if you fall into a tree root system, you can break your knees. Oh, well, that might help me actually. It might be helpful. That's just about thigh height. So see that definite shape, like an upside down delta. It's a definite shape, isn't it? And again, this enables us to communicate further afield. Oh, wow, would you look at this? Do any of these represent the shape of constellations? Auriga? What does Auriga look like? Okay. Auriga. Whatever Auriga looks like. I'll see if I can find a picture and pop it there. Okay, various constellations produce energy that we can utilise. Right down the hole again. So that's one of the reasons for replicating their shape. Here, this is a busy spot, isn't it? Those constellations may also concentrate minerals of some kind. This is a new one. Is this recent? Desiager. I have not seen this one. First time I've come across this one. And the wood is very, very clean. Look how stripped that wood is. Ooh. How long ago was this made? This is a transit path. This is a planetary transit path. So you're replicating. So do each one of these bends, do they replicate a certain constellation or certain planet? Constellations remain the same, but the planets traverse through them. So, alright. I don't know how we'd read that. So he's saying, it is difficult, my dear, there is more of it than you can see. So is the remainder that we can't see, is it below ground? It can be anywhere else. Right, so this is the thing about different dimensions. Things could be seen in a completely different way than they are from our perspective here. asking me if I can see the human connection in this. He says you did think it here, well, what I thought was the double helix shape, sideways on, and there you have the human connection. Wow. So if that's our human DNA shape, does yours differ from it? Completely. So he says those that have it, it has baffled because they have nothing to compare it to or with. Wow. Righty-ho. Yeah. Would you like to leave here? This would be a good place. Yes, I would. Thank you. In this circle, within this circle here. Okay. Then we'll do that. Thank you. There's something special about this. It's a doorway, it's a portal. Again, footsteps. They're always here. Behind me here. Could be deer. From that way. There's a stream down there. Could be deer by the stream. It could be. So we'll set up here. Somewhere here. So, put the peanut butter down there. Brazil nuts. Some walnuts. I'm going to pop those beside there. Apricots. Some apricots. Some pecans. Don't always get those. Chocolate biscuits here. Here we go. Mackerel fillets. This is going to be quite an art to get this out without, I don't want any of it going on me. I think I'm going to make a little bit more room up here. Alrighty. So I'm just going to put that lid back in this bag because I don't want it to stink me out. So we have some apples there. So I'm just going to stick these in roundabout. One of these is lavender. I think this is a purple sticks lavender. They all just smell very nice. I can't remember what the other one is. Here we go. And they'll just burn away nicely. Isn't the bird song lovely? So last week somebody wrote in the comments section about concentrating on a particular area, opening your eyes, closing your eyes, opening your eyes, closing your eyes, teaching your brain, adjusting your brain what to see. So she said, if you concentrate on a still image and see what you see. So try that. I'll see if I can. What I will do first of all is I will put the name of the lady up who commented on that, and see if you can see anything using her method. It's quite interesting because things appear to move, don't they? More grids. See that grid pattern? There was something I wanted to mention, that when you look over the various families that we have, the relatives of a back, and the families and their children, and how many children they have, and in my estimate there seems to be sort of aiming for an average of 8. They may have more, they may have less. I think there is a propensity to having twins. I don't know why and how that works. I just believe they have a propensity for having twins. My guess is that they have to try and sustain their family in future, so having masses and masses is not good, but they don't all reside in the same area, they go off. So if one family has, shall we say, person A and person B, has all daughters, they need some men to come into that family group. So it may be that somewhere along the line there is a family that has had a larger proportion of males than females. And that's what all these family gatherings are about, to make sure things are balanced, and balanced correctly. So not just the family groups, but the whole environment. So if we had a forest that was the size of West Virginia, for example, we'll take that as an example. If we have a forest that size and it was all females, it wouldn't survive. It wouldn't continue to thrive. They, as a group, wouldn't thrive. So this is where I think they have to bring somebody in. So let's, for example, say they have a chit-chat with a family in Ohio. Might not necessarily be Ohio, but let's take Ohio as an example, or Missouri, or Tennessee, anywhere. Oh, we've all got boys in our family, and we need to have we need some girls here, so that might be a possibility, and they just will marry. So they may decide that one of their males will come across and join this family group, and vice versa. So everything is balanced out. I think also there is a high loss rate due to miscarriage. predominantly miscarriage. I think also there can be losses within childbirth. They need to have a big family group. So if you have 8 children, you are the top of the tree. Let's say you are 80 years old and you have 8 children. They're not all going to remain in this particular area. It wouldn't be sustainable. So they'll choose farther afield or in areas which have been depleted, either through demographics or through bushfires. Well, that's just where we've been. So I came along this track here. I entered the forest just in there, just down that way. Was that there? It certainly was not. It certainly was not. That's really interesting. So the Forestry Commission people have decided that all of these tracks need to be widened because they are taking down a whole lot of forests up there, and I guess they need big plant through here. But they're utterly savage. These people are supposed to be part of forest management. It's absolutely disgraceful. The road is quite a wide track here. These are these big circular saws, and they just have them on the end of an attachment, agricultural attachment, and they just chew up everything in sight. Yet more vandalism. These organisation, this Forestry Commission, is one of the biggest landowners in the country. I think that the Church Commissioners are the biggest, then the Forestry Commission, then the Duke of Westminster, and then the now King. It was the Queen, but now then it would be the King. The royal family are paupers in comparison to these organisations for the amount of land that they have. Look at that. I mean, I just think this is disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. I mean, why would you do that? Nobody in their right mind would do that to any living thing. It could have been done properly. I mean, that is the nature of their game. Forestry Commission, they should know how to treat each and every type of tree. I mean, is this the way you chop down trees? Is this normal? This is not the way you deal with trees that are in your way. Yet more here. Look at this. There is no excuse for this. It's supposed to be a professional organisation with 100 years of history behind it. And this is the best that they can do. It's a disgrace. Rant over, folks. Rant over.